Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On today's Duel Review is Elfen Lied. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it. Today is May the 3rd, and tomorrow we get the Avengers. But today we're going to be reviewing Elfen Lied, the anime.
That's right, and there is a manga that came out with it, but they're pretty much the same length. Like there's 13 episodes of Elfen Lied, and there's 12 volumes of Elfen Lied, the manga.
One has slightly more boobies than the other.
And it's kind of hard to explain the...
I don't think so.
The everything around this, the psychology behind it, really, because there's a lot of very effed up crap that happens in this series. But the title was based off of a poem by, and I'm going to look down, Edward Morquet. It's a German poem, I believe. And I don't know why the name. I guess it's just. I mean, I know that it's a critically acclaimed poem, but I don't know why this really took off of it. I don't see the real correlation between the two, but whatever. You like how I emphasize the R for correlation for you?
Correlation.
Correlation. All right. So basically, what happens in and I'm going to talk strictly about the anime because I didn't read the manga. I'm going to talk about the anime, which is on Netflix. Hey, a lot of things that we do is on Netflix because, you know, not only
we're doing that more so that you can check it out immediately on Netflix.
Right, and you know, as opposed to they just reviewed this and now I have to go out and buy it to find out. Well, you can check it out on Netflix. Hey, it works, win-win. So, anyways, you have the Diclonius, and the Diclonius are essentially, they're not really mutants, but they're a new race of humanoid sentient beings, and they're marked with the horns that come out of their head. On the girls, it looks more like cat ears. So I don't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it very much looks like ears, but they say horns. I don't know why they do that because they're obviously making them look like ears.
Yeah.
Like the shading is so that they look concave, you know, like in the inner ear, but when you look at them from the side or whatever, they're just horn, whatever. So I don't really know the purpose of that, but it's just a sign that these humans have been mutated into Diclonius.
Right. And the interesting thing about Diclonius is A, they're trying to kill all humans. B, they have these.
They're appendages.
Yeah, they are, but they aren't because they sometimes call them telekinetic abilities, but they're essentially.
No, I think that people are guessing that they are, but they're treated as they're very real.
Yeah, but
vectors.
But they're called vectors. They're these limbs. They're phantom limbs that kind of grow out of their back, and usually they have a set number. I believe Lucy, who's one of the main characters, has less vectors in the anime than she does in the manga, which is odd. But what people confuse with the telekinetic ability is because these vectors can go through solid objects, but they can also cleave things in half, and you know they have all these really cool things.
And they're translucent to us, so we just see a ghost of them if we see them at all.
Except for what was her name?
The one daughter,
Marika,
where you can kind of see them.
Like 27 vectors, and
they're still pretty clear. But yeah. So if you haven't gathered, there's a lot of untold in this. Like you have to make your own decision, but not enough that really taints the story, I don't think.
So basically you're following this young man whose name is Koda, and he moves into his family's, I believe it's his aunts or uncles, I believe, restaurant. They have a closed down restaurant, and he's basically tasked with keeping it up, and he can live there as to go to school nearby just as long as he keeps it up. His cousin, who loves him. What's her name?
It's not said you know, it could be like the second or third. In a lot of cultures, second and third are.
Right.
I mean, even in ours, a lot of people marry. I mean, like in royalty and stuff. You know what I mean? Like.
Right.
So we don't know if it's like the first. I don't think it would be, but it is a little weird, you know.
Right.
Family.
Yuko ends up moving in, but not before New, who is actually Lucy with a split personality. She was hitting the head.
Well, you didn't explain who Lucy was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Lucy is a Diclonius, and she's trying to kill all humans for nefarious reasons. I don't really want to get into.
It's kind of like it's like in them to kind of breed it out. You know, whatever. They're just.
Oh yeah, I guess I should talk about how they breed. Diclonius breed by essentially taking a vector.
No.
No, we're not going to talk about how they breed.
because that's not till way at the end. So,
okay. Well, it's not terrible. Well, whatever. You don't want to talk about it, we won't talk about it. So Lucy kind of Lucy's wearing this helmet. She gets hit in the head, and that kind of like develops a split personality. Like I said before, there's a lot of psychological aspects that are very much involved in the story.
Right.
And her split personality becomes Lucy and you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I just said you should explain that, she's in a facility where these Diclonius are being tested, basically, and they're all female, as far as we know, at this point. And she escapes, and there's this big thing, like she's naked, except for this helmet that is, depriving her, depriving her of, whatever, her senses and whatnot. They're really treated poorly, and so she's escaping from this facility. Yeah,
and then she gets hit in the head with. I think she gets like shot in the head. Actually,
yeah, she gets shot in the head by a huge sniper rifle, but she moves just enough that it hits the helmet, which removes the helmet from her, but also gives her
the split personality. And her split personality, New, is very childish. Yeah, she doesn't really know much. The only thing that she can say is New, which doesn't even make any sense, but she does develop language.
And she's really warm-hearted, and she means
very
well,
nice.
But she doesn't have the filters, so she sees something, she breaks it, and then people react negatively. So she's like, I'm sorry, she tries to make up for it, but again, all she can say is New and whatever, and you find out later, oh, she's, whatever. It's told to us by some other characters, like, oh, she feels bad about this, so she's doing that,
Well, Coda, I guess he falls in love with her as New, but it's kind of, I don't know if it's love or if he, because...
I think it's like brotherly love because he lost his sister.
Well, yeah, I was going to get into that. Coda has his own psychological things. He blocks out a very tragic event where his family dies, so he doesn't really remember like what exactly happened. He just knows that they died, and so in response to that, he takes in a lot of these female characters, to replace, I guess, his sister. New being the first one, and then Yuka comes by, and Yuka loves Coda. Yuka being the cousin, and she wants him to love him more so in the manga than in the anime. But she's like, why you like her? Why don't you? She's very jealous.
She's also very spurned from she had this time an affair with him early on, but then this tragedy happened right after. So Coda doesn't remember it. It's kind of blocked out in his head. He doesn't remember the details. But for her, it's like like, you've come back to me, and I've been waiting for so long. I'll wait for you. But in fact, she says in the anime that I'll wait for you forever. Coda, and we'll be together or whatever. So whatever. They end up running this old restaurant that's not a restaurant anymore. So they kind of all live there. Yeah, more or less.
Like I said, it's his.
They take care of it.
Aunts and uncle's place. They got to just keep it up. Do the upkeep on it.
Do you want to talk about the other girl?
Which one?
The abused one.
Well, there's a lot of abused girls.
Okay.
So let me continue. There's Mayu, and Mayu is a homeless girl.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. She runs away from home because her stepfather,
or even boyfriend. We don't know if they're married.
I see, but he abuses her in a sexual manner.
There's no quote about it. It's actually a really hard scene to watch, and one that I don't necessarily think needs to be in there. This might be a good opportunity just to say there's a lot of adolescent nudity in this, female adolescent nudity. And they're never vulgar about it, but
I agree that it's... I both agree and disagree. I'm very split on this. I don't want to see little kids naked. I really don't. It's gross. But at the same time, it kind of fits in with the jarring psychological chaos that fills in everything else.
We are both okay with nudity when it makes sense.
Yes.
And some of this makes sense. It's my only thing is that I think there's too much of it. And what the father's doing, like the stepfather. You don't need to see her on all fours naked. I mean, that's literally, you don't see any, other than that. But it's like, that's too heavy-handed. Like, they just don't have the same, in that culture, they just don't have the same, uneasiness about that. Yeah. So they're kind of heavy-handed for my taste.
But and it's completely...
the Diclonius are always friggin' naked.
Yeah. It is very heavy-handed for me as well. Just, I kind of allow it because it really is mentally jarring. Like, oh my God, I'm watching this. This is disgusting. But at the same time, you really want to know what happens because, you hope for the best for these characters because they are psychologically damaged.
But in the first episode, in fact, even in the intro, like the intro theme, there's a lot of nudity.
Yes.
So if you can get past that and it's not a big deal for you, then there's nothing really more than that. In fact, the first scene or the first episode, to me, it's actually kind of slow. Even though there's a lot of like gore and violence or whatever, it's slow. So if you can get past that and the gore is okay and the nudity is okay, then you shouldn't have a problem with the rest of the anime.
Right. So Mayu joins the family first reluctantly because she doesn't want to be a bother, but she ends up finding that this is the family that she wants. And in fact, Koda and Yuka go to her mother and say, look, we're going to take her in. Can we like adopt her? And the mother's like, yeah, because the kid just kind of gets in the way. I think the mother even said if she wasn't around, her boyfriend or father.
Right, she blames her. It's one of those things where it's like,
the mother blames the daughter for
my boyfriend or husband sleeps with you and it's your fault because I don't know. It's like
gross.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that you have Nana. Nana, who has been through so much emotional trauma, physical trauma. She takes on a surrogate father in the lead scientist of the facility. So while she's going through this torture, she kind of looks to him like, I can be a good girl, please, Papa, please, But it's just kind of really, it kind of really hits you emotionally, this poor kid.
It's interesting though because she is Diclonius.
Yes.
And therefore she will have the urge to erase humanity, and yet she definitely is allied to the good part. So I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't think she has that desire to kill though. Like, she does, but she
are a little
doesn't.
different. Her vectors are a little bit longer, but she's also weaker than like Lucy. So
yeah, and I think they even said that she's supposed to be the good one. She's supposed to be the one that survives, because she is. At the base, a good person. She doesn't want to. We haven't seen her really want to kill humans. Like have that desire to kill.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Funny side note is that when Nana and the other Mayu get together, freaking, it's kind of annoying.
They both have this kind of high pitched voice.
No, you don't understand. Yes, I do. You're part of the family. No, I have to kill her. It's like which one is which? I don't know.
If you're not watching the screen, you may confuse the two voices because
so high all the time. And it's precious. Whatever,
but the other characters, Kurama was the surrogate father, by the way. But the other two was director and professor Kakuzawa. Sorry, Kakuzawa. And the director being the father, the professor being the son, and they're both working to eradicate the Diclonius virus, or the spread of Diclonius. But they also have a secret agenda, which I don't want to give away, apparently.
I'm looking out for you guys.
Yeah, I give away too much when I talk. So yeah, there is that whole issue, plus all the experiments and just a lot of psychological just backdrops to it. It's just I could not stop watching this.
Yeah, there's a lot that we want to talk about, but that we not necessarily want to give away. Maybe we should do a spoiler section, or I don't know. What should we do? Because there's so much that we'd love to talk about. The split personality thing and how that relates, and
Yeah, there's definitely a lot, but I can't talk about it without giving too much away. I think the best thing to do is it's 13 episodes long.
Right.
You could just check it out on Netflix. It is. It'll really make you think. It'll really make you feel for the characters. It's just good like that.
Just promise us that you'll watch like the first 3 episodes, because I think that first one is a little dry. It might turn people off. I think it really gets going around 3. So I really enjoyed this. It asks enough questions and has enough interesting things. It is well written in the fact that things that happen in the beginning you won't understand until the end, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have any content. Like a lot of, it's like something happened and I know that's going to be important later, but it doesn't matter now. Whatever. You don't really see it. It's just like oh. It's like, and then at the very end it's like.
Oh yeah, you want to talk like briefly about the ending?
Not really.
A lot of questions came up around the ending. Who should I say that? Who is essentially the question at the very end, and I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I have my theory. He has his.
I have mine. And symbolism and.
I like. Yeah, you definitely picked out the symbolism there. That was really good. So I'm back on his camp now. So. Watch it, and then if you want, email me, Nick at Nexus Digital Comics, and we'll talk about it further, because I don't want to give it away, but it is something that I want to talk about.
Just lastly, I guess I'll say that I was always told that this was a good anime, you know, and it's always been like Akira or whatever. It's like floating around as a good anime to watch.
Right.
When I watched it the first time, I was the one that watched the first episode and was like, "This is kind of slow. There's a lot of nudity and a lot of violence. I think I'm going to watch something else right now." So when then we decided to do this, I was happy to revisit it and to watch the rest.
And I had watched it a while back.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I watched it a while back, and I forgot most of it. But when I rewatched it for the review, I was like, "Oh yeah!" And then like all these questions that I had, all these emotional feelings, you like that? That I had, they kind of washed over me, and I was like, "Oh my god, I need to think about that."
Yeah. So it is fun, and
yes.
Though it has some of the stereotypes, like the stupid girl who can't quite, you know what I mean? Like the cuddly whatever, she's always good. But it's endearing. Like yes. I have emotion when I watch these characters. So go check it out. Yeah, it's kick-ass. It really is.
It is. It's a really cool anime.
Just get over the stupid horns. Just pretend they're ears like I do.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Honestly. And the vectors can be a little silly, but they're fine.
Yeah, that's true. But you don't see them. They actually don't use them that much. No,
so it's pretty. It's all just.
It's kind of more of a human story than it is, anything else. So.
Yeah. So check it out.
All right, guys. That's it. Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. Tell us what you think.
That's right. We still have our contest going, which should be ending shortly. Please send us your favorite underrated something.
Anything. Whether it's a comic or a video game or a movie. Something that you love that maybe other people have overlooked that you really want to bring to light. Let us know about it. We will pick one and we will review it here and
reward you with a shirt.
That's right. And I am wearing the Blood Fallen shirt here. This is one of my factions from Fisk.
That's right. And you can find our shirts if you need to choose at spiderwolf.com. Where you can buy all of our swag, the
winner will be able to choose one.
So. I'm still selling my short story books. Plus, you can get his card game. Yay!
And there's tutorials online, so you can check it out there.
Yeah, get the feel for it and learn how to play and decide if you want to buy it. Although you really should anyways, because let's face it, we're awesome.
Please support individual developers, and we're one of them. So if you can support us, that'd be nice.
All right,
that's it.
Bye.
See ya.
Oh. I think you're caught up now.
No, I'm not. You're still ahead like 2. I'm getting more serious.
Bye.
Next time on Duel Review, it's Sin City. Let's get this done.
What's that? You want to go that way? Okay. Let's go.
Wow.
Yeah, you like that?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Sorry. Of all the fabrics, why'd you pick straw? I guess it's like lighter.
I like it. It breathes better. Plus, it's cheap.
But it's straw. It's for like retired people and.
I'm retired. Wait, retired or retarded?
No, retired. What's the difference? Oh, just made old people that don't watch us feel bad.
That don't watch us, so it doesn't matter. Edward Morike.
It's a nice song.
It is. It's pleasant.
That I'm totally like him, where it would be like, because everybody's like, "Why don't you pick a happier song?" And I'm like, "Fuck you, that's the beautiful song. Other crap is just happy, crappy." Just my personality, man. I like I like dark wood, and I like my caves and
dark wood. Oh,
like dark colors, and I just like drab darkness. Why do you think the table's black?
Because you had black felt.
No, because it sucks in joy, so I don't have to deal with it.
Sucks in joy.
Anyway, whatever. I'm dark and broody. On today's Duel Review. I don't know what that was.
On today's Duel
Buble.
Double.
Today is April the 3rd, May.
It is May. Hey.
Today is May the 3rd. Avengers comes out tomorrow. Beware. Warning. Danger.
Danger Will Robinson?
Possibly. And we're going to be doing Elfen Lied, the awesome anime.
That's right.
That was the shortest review ever. Elfen Lied. Awesome anime.
Peace.
Because they already know how I feel. Alright, let's do it again. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what you just did.
I ruined it. Like I do everything! You really want to start like that?
No.
Today is April the 3rd, and Nick is posing like a retard. like an evil man. Oh, now he's like a dapper gentleman. Whatever. All right. Seriously? I mean, I will if you want.
Just do it, man. I always do silly, stupid stuff.
Today is April the 3rd, and we're going to be talking about...
Elfen Live. But you said April.
Did I?
You did.
Gonna do it again? Dude, you think you're awesome, aren't you? It looks so good like this.
I am so awesome.
Strength because I'm like part sultry and part intelligent because I'm thinking.
Did you say sultry?
Yeah, because I'm biting my lip.
Okay, come on.
Today is April the 4th. I mean, do your thing. I won't.
I was just doing
that.
Awesome.
Yeah, just do it. You love it. You know.